The great thing about the option marketing contract is that it is no risk to either party. What it allows us to do is, as investors, allow us to go and market the property for free to see what's actually out there, to give real feedback back to the seller. If we do get, good feedback, when we find that there's actual buyers at the price that they're wanting, then we can go get the property under contract at a higher price that they were wanting, and you can get them more money in their pocket. Everyone, thank you for hopping on today. This is part of our weekly live deal help calls. We have Brandon on with us again to provide some support. Great. Typically, how these calls work is we send out a text reminder beforehand, including a link to fill out a new form. If you have any specific deal help questions, we receive that form and we start with those clients first. Then from there, we open it up for an open discussion. So if anybody else has questions, we'll be able to go through those in real time. So we had one submission today beforehand, and that was Crystal. So Crystal, are you able to join us?
Woohoo.
Okay, she's rejoining. Great. So she'll be able to hop on just a sec. Perfect.
You're liking the tropical look today, right?
I like it. I thought Matt was on the call today. He's always wearing his.
I can throw on my sunglasses, pretend I'm in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, throw on one of those beach virtual backgrounds.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Well, hey, Crystal, thank you for submitting a question beforehand. I'll kind of turn the time over to you to ask your question.
Hey, Crystal.
If we can't hear you, if you are talking, you want to make sure your mic is open. Okay. Well, maybe while we wait for her, Kendra, do you want to kick us off again today?
Oh, the pressure. I took the one yesterday.
You ask such good questions. We appreciate it. You get the conversation going.
Yes, you made my day. Okay, I actually have two properties, but I'll just go with the one that I'm struggling with the most. I'm struggling because it's extremely unique, and the property is a manufactured home. It's on 2.5 acres, and it has a second mobile home on the property that's not got an address. And I actually just finished speaking to that guy about 5 minutes ago, and he wants like $250 for both. There's almost no other manufactured homes in that area. It's Denmark, Tennessee. Okay. And I couldn't even find like realtor or rent-a-meter. I couldn't even find rentals in the area to see if maybe that would be a good option for a buy and hold for somebody, to buy the property and rent them both out. It's just a real small area. The only manufactured home I could find was about 39 miles away, and it was selling at $160.
So now, is the mobile home, the first one, is it attached to the land, or is it just the land? It's like a mobile on the land.
It's got a brick foundation, so it's a permanent foundation.
Okay. Do you know in PropStream, did it show that it was like? What was that?
Yes. So PropStream has it valued. Now, PropStream doesn't notate it as a manufactured home, but PropStream, so I aggregated from PropStream, Redfin, Realtor, Chase Mortgage, and Zillow to get kind of an average what they're valuing it at.
Okay.
PropStream has it at $233. He's actively, for sale by owner, selling it on Redfin and Zillow for $250. And then Realtor and Chase marked it at $243. So it averages at $243. But I literally couldn't find any comps, not one. The closest comp I could find of a manufactured home similar was Lakefront, and it was $165, but it was about 39 miles away.
Okay.
And to which he replied, oh, there's a single wide just down the road, 2 doors down, same street, that sold for $93,000 last year. So he's kind of saying you're getting 2 for the price of 1, but essentially that's not true, because he's asking.
Right. So and here's the thing too, is only unless the property is set up to have like it's two separate parcels and each
Right.
mobile home is attached to land. Otherwise, it's just like having a Ford pickup truck sitting on the land.
Right. They don't consider it real property.
Right.
Okay. So essentially the mobile home is not really that.
The second one, I don't know about the first, but definitely the
Yeah,
second
the first
one.
one is permanent.
And how long
Oh.
has it been on? How long has he been marketing in the property?
So it's been on Zillow for 50 days. It's had
Okay.
600 views, but only 23 saves. And then on Redfin, it's been out for 19 days, 119 views, and 5 people saved it. So it's not
And-
getting a lot of traction.
And what's the reason why he thinks it's not selling?
He didn't. He seemed pretty surprised when I started kind of going over these facts with him. He was just like, well, there was, and he's an older guy. He's very, very sweet. He said there was a house just 2 doors down and it sold last year for, 93,000, which in my head, I'm like, that's much less than the 250 you're asking.
Right. But on that, whenever you're talking to them, like what I do is I will talk to the sellers and I will act like I'm dumb. I will act like I need their help. I'll give you a perfect example. If you ever try this, go into a supermarket and start looking around for something like, I'm sorry, can you help me find something? And people come to your rescue, right? They come to your rescue and they tell, I think it's, I don't work here, but I think it's over on this aisle or whatever, right? Same thing in this scenario. If you go to the seller, say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm trying to understand how did that one sell for 93 and you're asking 250?
Okay. But in a nice way, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I ended up asking him I said, I think that this is the problem is there's not a lot of comps. And I feel like your property for an end buyer isn't, or for somebody who's buying it to live in it, what are they going to do with 2 places? And for somebody like me, who's an investor, it's really difficult to get comps. And so it's a huge question mark. I've said, what is your very bottom dollar here? I read off the 163 and because there's 3 other houses on his street that are valuing at like 163 and 170. And I don't even know if they're manufactured homes. So I read those off and I said, what is your bottom dollar? And he just kind of hesitated. And I said, well, the other option is we can sign a contract. You let me market it for free for 10 days. I can try to find closer to the price point you're looking at, although I don't think 250 is the correct price point. I can, it won't cost you anything. And then that way I thought I could kind of low key try to find a buyer first.
Yeah.
So
I like
he
that.
said that, yeah, he said he would be open for that one. But I don't know.
And
I guess
also,
that's where I'm at
just
with
to be
that.
really frank, right now, so a couple things that stick out to me. One is it's marketed it's already marketed, right? So
Yeah.
on any of my properties, if I ever run a for sale by owner, now this is kind of like the way that I was trained from Sean Terry and the way that I still kind of run my business, where if it's an active listing, I don't give them full price. It's
Okay.
automatically 80% minus my wholesale fee. So whatever, if it's 250, right? If it's advertised at 250, the most I'll pay, right, is at 80%. That's 200,000 minus my wholesale fee, say 20,000. So that means the max I'm going to give them is $180,000 cash.
Okay.
Now that's usually in a regular market, right? In a regular where there's plenty of comps and plenty of sales going on. When it's more rural, when it's more less buyers in those areas, then you really have to, you almost think in your mind 50% of retail.
Okay.
And now that's if we're going for a cash wholesale deal, not if we're doing for creative finance, right?
Right.
And the reason being is because it's a limited amount of buyers. You're going to have hard time finding people in a lot of those areas. And there's just not a lot of comps to justify the prices a lot of times too.
Okay.
But what I love what you're doing is you're taking swings at everything.
Thank you.
No, seriously, you have to. It's just like anything else. That's how we learn. Like I'm training I have a son that's 16. He's going to get his license. And I know that he has to make mistakes. I know that he has to go through and do stuff. But so what do we do, right? We try to go to places in parking lots. We try to go to places with less people on the roads. Whenever he gets better and better, then we're going to more populated areas. Then we're going by the mall. Then we're going by the airport. Then we're going on the freeways, right? But at first, we start him out in like areas where it's not going to be a big deal if he kind of crosses the line a little bit, you know.
Okay, can I ask one more real quick question? Because I'm supposed to jump on a call with this lady. So I have a property and it's a riverfront property. If I look at the comps now, the aggregation between PropStream, Realtor, Redfin, and Chase and Zillow, it valued average at 379. But actual comps, there's one on her same exact street that's smaller, and it priced it's sold at 479,000. And so that ended up being 247 a square foot. Then she had another one on the same street, literally her same street, that sold at 340,000, but it was only 1,000 square feet. So it was $323 per square foot. And then the other house on her street just sold for 250, which was 134 square feet.
Wow,
So,
just all over the place.
well, but it's averaging $234 per square foot. Well, her house is 2,400 square feet, 2 stories. And it's got its own private dock and a pavilion. And so if you go based off the average square foot, it's ARV at 538. Does that sound right? That seems crazy to me.
I don't use so the square footage is good if you're doing like full blown rehabs and stuff like that. I'm trying to go, my rule of thumb is I have to be the cheapest property in the whole area when I go to wholesale. Okay. So as long as I'm the cheapest one in the whole area, no. Some of the things that I wanted to ask you is what's the seller asking and what's the motivation for selling?
So she's moving. She wants 425, 429, but she'll potentially go lower is what she said. In the kitchen, everything is in good condition, but the kitchen and the bathroom do need updating.
And did you look at the comps? Did you go to like Redfin or Zillow and see that the one that's really done up right? Did it have like total new upgrades, like a remodeled place?
Yeah, the one that sold for 479.
Yeah. And then the ones that didn't, those probably need work, right?
Yeah, they went, well, they didn't need work, but they definitely looked outdated.
Okay. So now, when you're on the phone with the seller, are you using some of the low comps to anchor the seller?
Well, I did initially because I didn't realize it was riverfront. I was giving her comps in the 200s and she was like, I know you're crazy. I had it estimated at 225. And then she said, like, there's no, if you can find a riverfront house that goes for that, you let me know. And I was like, oh, it's riverfront. Because it didn't show that on the picture. But then I zoomed out and I was like, it is riverfront. I'm rookie mistake.
No, that's okay. But so does she have like, when it comes to like lakefront properties, riverfront properties, these type of, they're not evaluated typically the same way or appraised the same way. So there's a lot of things that can help the appraisal or that can hurt the appraisal, right? Number one is, do they own the access to the lake from their place? Like, does it go all the way to, and do they have like their own access to it?
Yeah, it has its own boat dock and a pavilion.
Okay. And why hasn't she listed the list of the property?
I think she doesn't want to pay the realtor fees. If I asked her that question directly, I don't remember, but in general, that was the idea from the conversation.
So as you're on the phone with the sellers, try asking some of those pain point questions, and you do it in a way like, oh, wow, it sounds like a great house. Why haven't you listed it with the realtor?
Okay.
And then when you sit back and ask, and then they will give you feedback why, or maybe like, well, I talked to a realtor and they thought I need to price it at 400. I wanted 450.
Okay.
No, also on this. So all this is good information, but what I want you to almost to get to the point to be able to do is to be able to almost get an offer to the seller on the phone while you're with them. Yeah, we'll a lot of times we'll do a 2-call offer. One is we're getting all the information, we're getting everything right. And we're talking about four major things: why they're selling. That's one of the biggest things. How soon they need to sell. The condition of the property and the time frame, right? In addition to that, I want to know if they owe anything on the property, what the payments are, what type of loan it is. Those are some of the things I want to know. And while I'm talking about the condition, they're telling me what repairs are needed, right? A lot of times before I even get off the phone, I'm getting them to come to a lower number than what they're already thinking about.
Okay.
And then what I'll do is like, okay, great. Now we use what's there's and Steve Trang, I'm sure did a great train. I didn't watch the whole thing, Brighton, but we kind of come from the same school of thought, being able to use a higher authority, being able to ask questions and create pain points and kind of put the seller into a position where they're willing to take your offer if it makes sense. And so what I'll do a lot of times is I'll set up that first call, get all the information, and then like, okay, I'm going to go and talk to the underwriter. Now I'm going to go talk to them. I'm going to go to bat for you. Typically, what I'm seeing is this comp, this comp, and this comp, right? You're using your anchor, your three lowest comps.
Okay.
Knowing that we pay cash, that you don't have to pay real estate commissions, and we can close on your time frame. Realistically, what's the lowest that you can take for the property? So now, Kendra, you say a number. You pretend to be the seller.
429 is the lowest I can go.
I'm sorry, what was that?
429 is the lowest I can
So
go.
somewhere between 400 to 429.
I mean, sure.
Okay. So what did I just do there?
You basically gave her a lower drop.
I gave her another
got her
range.
to
You
agree
gave
to
me
it.
a number and I went even lower, right?
Yeah.
And I used your your number as my high number, your lowest number as my high number.
Yeah,
Right?
the illusion of choice. Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah.
You made me.
And so, okay, now I'm going to go back to them. Now, if I can get you somewhere between the 400 or 429, do you think that is there anyone else we need to talk to? Are you able to make a decision quick and we can move forward?
Yes, it's just
So
me.
I'm reconfirming that, right? And now I get back on the call. Hey, Kendra, great news. I think you're gonna be really excited. I want to talk to the underwriter. So here's the situation. Now we're going into the slow season. People aren't going to be really using boats and riverfront property right now. So we're kind of going into the time of season where this type of property is not really being used. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that being said, we know we're going to be sitting on this property for a little while. We're going to have some extra holding costs and stuff like that. With the comps that I showed you in the area that we were talking about, and I understand that we're going to be doing some updates on the property. I think you're going to be really excited. We're able to knock down, to knock down the barriers and get to the price that I think you're going to be really happy with. Do you have a pen and paper ready?
I do.
Okay, great. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to, and are you in front of the computer where I can send over the contract?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm going to send this over right now. So now I'm going to send over this contract. Now, just to let you know, it's all cash. We'll close within 30 days or less, depending whenever you're ready to close. And we're able to get this taken care of as soon as possible. You don't have to worry about anything else. We'll take the property in as is condition. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So the offer that they come up with is $378,000, which is actually about $20,000 than what they were originally going for. And I went to bat for you. So what do you think about that number?
I mean, that's less than I wanted.
I understand that, but we got up to 378,000. Will that work for you?
I mean, no, you got it up to that, but I definitely think I could sell it for more. It's riverfront.
If I can go back to the underwriter and I can get a number, get them to move up a little bit. And I don't know how much they can move up. I mean, realistically, I mean, what's your bottom line? If they're coming out at 378.
I guess 400.
I don't know if they're going to be able to do that.
Can you ask them?
Yeah, but I pretty much know these guys, and they're like, they sharpen their pencils. These guys are super analytical. I get to know the people. I get to know the sellers. They're unattached and unemotional. I want to help you get the best deal. I mean, if I can get them to come up to like 384, 385, is that something we can work on?
Yeah, I guess find out if they go up that.
Okay, let me see. Now, what did I just do there?
You negotiated. You got her to agree to come down from 400, which was her second sticking point. I say her, it's me.
Yeah, but originally we're at 450, right?
Yeah, you dropped it from her, no, 429, and then got me to go down to 4, and then now you got me to agree to go less.
And so whenever I give that second call, I'm all upbeat. I'm all excited. I went to work for you. I can't believe that they're actually going to come up with this number. I'm so excited. Okay, are you in front of the computer? I'm going to send you over the contract right now. And you have them in front of the computer so you can have them get ready to DocuSign, right?
Yeah.
And now what happens too is like that they said no, right? By the way, you want to know. No's are not bad. We think no's are bad. We know what it's like. Bumpers on the, you ever been bowling with the bumpers on the side of a bowling alley?
Yeah.
It keeps the ball in the middle of the alley, right? So we know where the boundary is now.
Okay.
So a no isn't bad. We think in sales a no is bad, but it actually isn't. It just helps us know where we need to come. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? But if it works, then we can push it a little bit. Almost always too, just to let you know, when it comes to negotiation, my wife hates negotiation. We'll go to the car dealership, right? We picked out the last car we bought. We went together, we picked it out. She got the color she wanted. She got all the bells and whistles, has all the, stay in the lane, auto driving stuff, make sure it feels safe and comfortable. And then we go to sit down to negotiate. She walks away. It gives her so much anxiety. Right? Yeah. To me, it doesn't matter. To me, it's like a game. Like I'm over it now. Like to me, it just is fun. And she's watching and seeing them go back and forth to the manager's desk, back and forth, right? And just realizing that this is just part of the process. I just have to get a little bit more and get a little bit more. And you almost have to, like, there's times where I'll stand up and start walking away. My wife's like, no, don't walk away. Like, but it's part of the, like, I'm just stressed. Like, I don't know, you have to you almost have to tell them where your boundary is too, and that's part of the, whenever you really understand negotiation, I really recommend for those that were, didn't see Steve Trang's stuff, check out the call that he did a few weeks ago in the Amplify My Business Facebook group. And Steve is one of the master negotiators out there, but a lot of this stuff is stuff a lot of us do all the time. So it's almost like second nature for us now, but it wasn't at first. So
real quick then, with those 3 comps that I mentioned, the average for those is 356. That was the average. I
mean, I think you got to throw out some of the low anchors while you're on the phone and like make them justify their number, not the other way around.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Brent, let me add. The other thing that you did really well is that you used a third party to be the bad guy. So you used the underwriter. It's a great tactic. Use the underwriter saying, "Oh, I don't know, like they're set at 378, whatever it is. They're not going to come up. It's not me. It's them. Like it's them." So when you do that, it puts you on the same side of the table as the seller and allows you to be on their team and working with them. So you're not directly negotiating. You're using third party or someone else.
There's a lot of psychology. I used to sell cars too. So part of the psychology, you understand the sales managers at a desk higher than everyone else. Usually their seat is a little bit higher and they can see the whole showroom, right? So they have to get, the salesperson has to go get their permission to get the okay. And what happens a lot of times as a sales guy, I'd be like going back and forth, right? And then I turn around and like, "Hey, Kendra, look." And then I take my chair and I pull it over right next to Kendra, right next to my client, right? So I'm on the same side of the table now, not on the opposite side of the table.
Yeah, you're friends.
We're friends. Hey, I went to bat for you. Yeah. I beat up this guy. I mean, I'm barely making a commission on this, I mean, I just bought you that Coke. That's probably my commission right there, so, but I want to let you know that I really like you. I want your family to have this nice car. So this is their final numbers that they come out with, but I think you're going to be very happy because it's going to be right within your budget. And guess what? A lot of times it's just outside their budget, right? They all do this stuff.
Yeah.
But then you say it's okay. You get to the point, it's like yes or no. But also it's not, it doesn't have to be that harsh. A lot of it is just, if you're asking the right questions up front, right? Then I can say, well, Kendra, you said you wanted to sell this house. I know it's a nice riverfront property, but you're just tired of the maintenance. You're tired of going back and forth. You don't want to go back and forth. So I want to take this off your hands. I want to get that stress out of your mind. So now I want to paint a new picture, Kendra. So use visualization. What is it going to be like to have that money deposit in your account, to see all those zeros on your checking statement, right? Checking account statement. and then know that you never have to drive up there again and take care of this property.
Yeah.
So now I'm taking the pain and I'm painting pictures of what's positive and getting rid of the negative. So,
Okay. So I know I'm gonna try to get her to give me her lowest number, but don't I need to have an idea of my lowest number in mind, like what I really can't go above?
right.
No.
Yeah.
So how do I calculate that? Because I thought it was by square foot, which you said is only if they're in bad condition. If I use the average for those 3 comps that I found, it's 356. Should that be my lowest number?
No, so you take the average of your sold comps, right?
Mhm.
So the rule of thumb, the max allowable offer that most wholesalers use is 70% of ARV. And you get ARV from the 3 sold comps, right?
Yeah, and
From
356
the
is
3
the
highest sold comps. So you take the 3 highest sold comps, take 70% minus the estimated renovations, repairs, and minus your profit.
Yeah, there's no way she's gonna go for that. It's $213.
So it's from 450 to 213.
No, 356 is the average based
Okay.
off the comps next door. And then points times 0.6 is 2. Did I do that right?
So how did she come up with her number? Is there a property that's higher than hers?
I'm guessing the one that I'm talking about, the one that went for 479.
Okay, and that's a little bit smaller square foot.
Yeah, by like 300 square feet.
Okay, so let's say 480 is the number, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 480, 70% of 480 is 336. And how much in repairs do you think it's going to take?
It's very minimal, maybe 10 to 20,000.
Okay, so let's just split the difference at 15,000.
Okay.
And you want to make 20,000, right?
I would take less just to get the property and close a deal.
Okay. So it looks like you're offering just around 300, maybe a little bit over.
Okay.
300, 305.
Okay.
And by the way, if the number, but you did good on the other one where you gave the option, if the numbers don't even come close, just say, look, my numbers, I'm just think with the holding costs, my repairs, it just doesn't make sense. You can use another thing where like, I'm looking at 2 different properties. The other property seems to make more sense than this one. I would like to get you the number you're wanting. I'm at a lower number. I tell you what, I do work with some investors that I can reach out to and see if the numbers make sense for them. Would you like me to do that? And then
Okay.
do the option, right?
Smart. That's a nice segue into it.
Yeah.
I think that might be the better one for this because I just don't see her coming down to what I would need it to be at, even if I take a lower commission. But I feel like if I get the marketing option, then I might have more chance to make something. And then if I can't find anything and my hunch is wrong, then it's no foul for me and no foul for her.
Got it. Yeah. And I mean, if it's a hotter area, you bump up from 70% to 75, maybe even 80, depending on what part you're in, so.
Okay. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I took up so much time again.
No worries. Thanks.
Have a good one. I have to go and jump on a call.
Sweet.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Good luck, Kendra. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Cool. So we had a super basic question here from Crystal. I think we could run through it real quick. The question was very simply, how do I pull comps and determine the price for a property?
Okay. Where's the property at?
It's here in the chat.
Is it that 800 Oakleaf Trail?
Yep.
I'm trying to pull it up. I don't know if my prop stream's not working. I have to refresh it real quick. So I like prop stream. It works great. There's a lot of good tools out there. I also like Redfin a lot. Trail. Let me see if this will pull up real quick. I don't know. It's not pulling up in Texas. Let me share my screen. Maybe I'm typing something wrong and Crystal maybe can help me. It's an 800 Oakleaf Trail. I wonder if it's one word. I'm not having anything pull up. hold on. There it is.
Found it.
Found it. All right, so looks like they bought this from a trustee sale for 26,000 back a few years ago. So on here, I'll use the comparables. Now, real quick, what I'm looking at really fast is a couple of things, just to point out a few things. Right here's the value, right? This is the estimated value for today. They do have 4 comparable properties. This is the amount of equity they have. So it looks like they bought it all cash, no loan on the property. You can check that right here too. No loan on it. This is the estimated rent. So I'll go to comparable nearby homes for sale. And typically, so this has a pretty good amount right here. I typically want to go the last 6 months, 3 to 6 months. So I'll go back about 6 months. Let's see here. 4, 6. All right. So now I went back 6 months. I usually go within 10% of the square footage. This, it defaults, I think it's around 15%, which is fine too. So I'm going to sort this from highest to lowest. And what I'm also going to do is they have pictures right here. So if you notice, we have a couple that are in the 474 range, 415 range, 215, 208. So I'm wondering to myself, what is the big difference? Is it because it's waterfront property? Let's see here. We got a 2 and a 3. And we got a 4 and a 1. And it could be just different parts of the island. I don't really know. That has a big dock there, it looks like. Let me do this. So I'm going to go ahead and do within 10% of the square footage, 1872. $16. The 8. So that lowered it quite a bit, actually. So I don't know why I only got 1, but I think what's going on here is it does have a big dock. It's like an outdoor garage or outdoor kitchen or something there, some outbuildings. And if you look here, I think we're going to have a very big piece of property and land. So this could be part of it too. Year built. I don't know why that's, it's not pulling up a lot, but the lot size is 22,499. So let me do something a little bit different here. I'm gonna make this bigger. Just to get those other properties in here. And I wonder if it has to do with the lot size, because this one is small. Let's see what the lot size on this one is. No, still pretty good lot size there. This one sold in July. Sits on almost an acre. Okay. And right here is 155 plus pictures, right? This one looks really nice. Just a much smaller property altogether than the other one. Because our property is 1872, the other one's 15. So on this one, I think depending on these other ones, I think we're going to be closer to these 417 and 415 numbers. Wow. I'm ready to move to a lake. Whenever I don't see enough comps too, what I'll do is I will also go to Redfin and Zillow and see what type of valuation it's giving me. The estimate's 257. Redfin's 206. So on this one, can I ask you what the seller's asking for the property? They own a couple more in Point. So, Crystal, are you there? Can you hear us okay? Yeah, we can't hear you. It's waterfront property. The property isn't tough, isn't tough, or isn't through, isn't done yet. Let's see here. I would probably try to use the lowest comps when I'm talking to the seller, right? Let me go out a mile here. And maybe I'll go for the last year. $18, $15. All right, so we have several properties here. We have 9 properties in the last year. Whenever I'm doing this and I'm talking to the seller versus what I'm going to make my offer on is maybe different. But what's confusing for me right now is I'm seeing some low comps, you know, at 250 and below, and then I'm seeing these other ones at 415, 428, 474. So that's what's confusing to me, and I don't know why. You're saying the property isn't waterfront property, although the property comps were. So the subject property is not waterfront. Okay, so that makes a big difference. Let's see what these lower ones are. So these probably are not waterfront. Nope, not waterfront. So then let's make the big difference there. And that's what we needed to know. So those high comps are not going to be comps here then. So we'll take all those out, right? And we're still sorting from highest to lowest. So my highest is a 250, a 230, and a 208. So I'll take the average of those 3 there, and it gives me this average of 229. So then I take that 229, do the 70% minus repairs, minus my profit, and that's my cash offer. So on this one, let's just round up to 230. So 230, maybe I can use my calculator real quick so you guys can see that. All right, share my screen, calculator. So I'm gonna do 230. Okay, times 0.7. That's giving me 161. Let's assume it's a $20,000 repairs minus 20,000 repairs. That gives me 141 minus 20,000 for my profit. My max offer is 121. So hope that helps on that one. Crystal, did that help you? Okay, perfect. So that's confusing. So thanks for clarifying that up, because waterfront does make a big difference, right? So we can see it's almost a $200,000 jump. So very cool, very cool. Did you have any other questions, Crystal? Let's see here. No, thank you. Awesome, cool. All right, who else has some questions?
So, hey, Ezekiel, I know you had a question. I think this was a question that came through while we were still talking to Kendra. Are you still in here? Yeah, you're still here. Great. Hey, do you know if, were you referring to the marketing option contract? Is that what you were referring to when you said how realistic that someone will actually take that? Depends on motivation.
Pretty realistic.
The great thing about the option marketing contract is that it is no risk to either party. what it allows us to do is, as investors, allow us to go and market the property for free to see what's actually out there, to give real feedback back to the seller. And then if we do get, good feedback and we find that there's actual buyers at the price that they're wanting, then we can go get the property under contract at a higher price that they were wanting, and you can get them more money in their pocket. So it's a huge win-win. Now, we've mentioned in the past that if you use it a lot, people tend to use it as a scapegoat to not really push, negotiate, find reasons why, and to get down to the best price you can get the property under contract. So there is a word of caution if you're going to be using the marketing option. Would you say I said that right, Brandon, or am I way off base?
Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah.
Cool. Great. Does anybody else have any deal help questions that they're working through right now? You'd love some assistance from the call. Felicia, okay. I'm going to go ahead and allow you to talk. All right. All you have to do is unmute yourself and we can chat. While we're waiting for the name on here, Felicia, to unmute herself real quick. Crystal had another quick question, was how do you determine the EMD amount?
The earnest money, I usually keep it around $10. Sometimes it'll go up to $100. Some states like Florida may be customary to do 1%, but most of the time we usually do $10 or $100, and we almost never have any issues. So.
Isn't that one of those crutches that a lot of people think they got to do, a large amount, but in all reality, it's more of a formality, and you just need to have at least something on.
Yeah, and the reality is just let the sellers know, hey, we're making hundreds of offers, a month, and so it's just really hard to kind of track that and know which ones we're putting all this. Think about if you did 100 offers and you're putting down a $1,000 earnest deposit on each one, that's $100,000. So, keep it simple and low. I think Felicia had her hand raised here. Go ahead, Felicia.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can. Great.
Perfect. I have a multifamily in Yucca Valley.
Okay.
The property address is 5406 Yucca Mesa, Meesa Road. This one, the client is asking for 600. Did some comps there. They're coming between 900 and 1.2 million.
Okay.
And
5406 Yucca Mesa Road.
yes, sir.
Okay.
On Zillow, it's showing 5 bedrooms, 2 bath, but after talking to the client, it's one property is 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. The other property is 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. It's on 3 acres of land. I don't know what this means, but he says 26,500 concrete. And he also says it's turnkey. I don't know if that 600 is the.
Okay, so this property is listed, correct?
It was, he just took it off the market.
Okay, so now here's something to pay attention. It was on the market for 51 days according to PropStream, but it didn't sell.
Right.
So what is he asking for it?
He wants 600. At that time, he was asking for like 800,000. Then he dropped down to 7. Now he's at 6.
And did he say why it didn't sell?
No, he just said that he had it on the market and basically he wasn't getting what he wanted for the property at that time. So he's in the middle of escrow right now on a property in Arizona, running out of time. He needs to sell this in order for him to buy that property.
So yeah, because it said it was contingent. So it looks like he had an offer on it at one time or something.
He declined.
Okay, so now here's what's interesting. If you notice, he said that's turnkey, right?
Yep.
Okay. Do you see the bathroom here?
Yep.
Do you see the old tile?
Mm-hmm.
You see the brass finishing, like the gold brass finishings here, right?
I do.
Okay. Do you see this hallway here with the two-tone here?
Yes.
So now a seller's, and then we got the regular tile here. So he says it's turnkey, right? In other words, he's saying you can move into it. Is this HGTV ready?
Nope.
No. Okay. So now his asking price is 600.
Yes.
Okay. And how long does he have on the other house until it sells?
November 1st.
Okay. So he would take 600 cash if you can close by November 1st.
Correct.
Okay. And that's the lowest he'll go?
Yeah, that's pretty much where we've gotten down to right now. When I first initially started talking to him, I saw that it was up for like 800 and something, and I dropped him down to 7, and then we got to 6. So it's possible that I can get him a little bit further under.
Okay. So now what I would do real quick, right? Here's the realtor, right, that had the property.
Mhm.
I don't necessarily would call him, but just pay attention to that, because you may want to find out why it didn't sell. And maybe there's some stuff that came back on a home inspection we don't know, right?
Okay.
Says 2 to 5 units, horse property. Here's the information. Major price reduction, very motivated sellers in escrow with replacement property. Don't miss out on this unique, perfect for full time. Okay, let's see here if I copy and paste this and throw it in Zillow,
Mhm.
or Redfin. Let's see if I pull this up. His estimate $699. All right, so what I'm going to do real quick, just as a real, I just want to, I'm doing a little reconnaissance, right? So what I want to do here is put in the zip code of this property.
Okay.
Sorry, let's try that again. Right here. And I'm going to go to flippers right here. They have 39 properties, right? Now, what I want to do too is I want to filter. See, I really want to go for the higher end stuff. $300, $350. I don't see anything that's really high here in the zip code, right?
Okay.
Here's one. Let's see here. This sold last year though. Let me see if I can find out who the realtor is on it. They don't give the phone numbers in this area for the realtors. And this one was, oh, this one's active. Let me just pull it up real quick. It'll probably show on Zillow or Redfin. All right, let's call up the realtor real quick. And I'm going to see if they have any buyers looking for a property like this one that needs some updates, or that they can make some money on real quick, right?
Okay.
731 626 731 3117. Yuchen.
Please leave your message for. Oh, Michelle.
Try it again. They may not want to pick up yet.
Please leave your message for.
No, busy. Here's a big one. Let's try this one real quick. Where's my realtor contact info? Let's try Zillow. Sold. All right, let me do one more thing real quick because the realtor was John Fox. No, that's the other one, sorry. Brian. See if I can contact this guy. All right, there's a phone number right here. Hello?
Honor, this is Jackie. Hi.
Hi, is Brian around?
He's not. Is there anything I can help you with?
You bet. I was just trying to reach him. It looks like he had a property that just sold over on Concho Way.
Okay.
Was nice chunk, 1.8. And I'm looking for a realtor that might be able to help us. We're flippers, so we're looking to flip a property, and I didn't know if he had any buyers. We're not sure if we're going to flip this one or just sell it out because it may be more than we want to take on. Does he have any clients looking for something like that right now?
Yes, I believe so. What's the property address?
I can send it all over to you and text it to you. It's over on Yucca Mesa Road.
Okay.
So it's we got it significantly discounted from where he did have it listed for a while, but he took it off. So I think that this one may be a really nice one that if he has a buyer that wants to jump on it, that they can probably, swing a nice six-figure profit on it. So I just didn't know if he had like fix and flipper agents or, clients and stuff like that.
Not necessarily agents, but definitely we work with a lot of investors that will be willing to do that.
Okay.
Just depending on how.
I mean, you can like rent it as an Airbnb, but it probably needs some updates. It's just, I mean, it's moving
Just
ready.
modernizing it.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, exactly. It's not that it's in bad shape. It's just it needs to be probably updated a bit. But big property, horse property and all that stuff. So if we can send it over to you. Just to kind of give you an idea, it was listed at $850. We have it down about $200,000 below that. So. Okay.
And then you were looking to get around 850 or?
No, we're just going to sell for about 7 and pay him a commission on that.
Oh, I see. Okay. And then what was your name?
Brandon,
you said?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, you called Brian, so you tried to give him a call and it just got forwarded over to my phone when he doesn't answer because he's going to the doctor's office and stuff. So
okay.
I'm going to text you my phone number. And then once you get that property address, then please send it over. And then I will have Brian give you a call back to just to communicate with you and get.
Sure. And we can take it down and stuff like that, but we buy stuff nationwide. I'm out in Arizona right now. And maybe one we just may want to turn quick. Is the market still pretty hot there?
Definitely, yes.
Okay, good. So
I
don't know why he didn't sell. I don't know why you didn't sell where it was, but I guess you maybe just asking too much, so.
Right. And then this is your cell, right? The 602-918-4663.
Yes, it is. Uh-huh.
Okay, well then I will send you a text with my name and my contact. And once you get that property address, please send it over and then we'll just go from there.
All right, sounds great. And what was your name?
My name is Jackie.
Jackie. Okay, thanks, Jackie. Appreciate it.
Of course. All right, take care.
Bye-bye. Okay, now Felicia, I didn't give her the address right yet
Right?
because I want you to lock it up.
Okay. He's ready. He told me right now. I just got off the phone with him. He
Okay.
sent me all the pictures on both properties because it's about 2 hours from where I live.
Okay.
He's a pilot. He's leaving in the morning, going to Kentucky or something. And
Okay.
he just basically said he's got someone else that's asked him about the property
Uh-huh.
and he wants to sign with me because he's been dealing with me for about a week now, just going back and forth.
Okay, now here's the thing is, realtor is going to call the other realtor like, hey, what happened, right? So you got to just say, look, I'm paying your commission. I have this under contract. I'm in escrow. So you're not going to go and talk to the seller. You're not going to go and talk to the real estate agent. If you want to deal with this deal, you have to go through me because I'm paying your commission.
Okay.
So now you go get it locked up at 600, right?
Okay.
And then we're going to turn around and tell them 700.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay, you have to pay a commission to the realtor out of that 700, right?
Right?
So 700 times 0.03 is $21,000.
Okay.
Okay, so that means your profit is going to be deducted, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to have some closing costs and commissions. So instead of $100,000, you're probably going to be around $70,000. Are you okay with that?
Perfect.
Okay.
Starting from $0, 70,000. Yeah, I'm okay. I'll be okay.
Okay, you can live with that.
Very exciting. Well,
Very.
cool.
This would be my first deal closing with you guys, and I've only been doing this for about 3 weeks.
Well, let's get her done then, huh?
Man, that's a big one. My gosh, dude. That's a big one.
That's
Okay,
very
now-
exciting. Well,
So
keep us
now just go
posted.
get that locked up. And thanks for sharing this. Everyone, remember this, these calls are, people are sharing the addresses of deals we're working on. Please keep this confidential. Don't go around and try to lock it up behind someone else. Like, this is Felicia's deal. So
Yeah. And we know because it's on the call. We got paper trail. So we hope that everyone's here to promote and help each other, right? No more cutting each other out. So, but
Yeah.
thank you, Felicia. Please keep us posted. We can't wait to hear how that finishes out. So, well, great. Hey, thank you, Brandon. Thank you, everyone, for participating today. It was a great call. We talked about all sorts of good stuff. As always, the recording will be posted by the end of the week in the Facebook group. You can go review it there. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week on the same time, same call. See you then.